For Coffee Talk on a Monday, Labor Day evening. I'm first warning meteorologist Eric Burris. This is the evening edition of Coffee Talk, so it's, whatever beverage you want to drink. I'm enjoying a little water. I'll brew up my evening cup of coffee as we get closer to the 10 o'clock news broadcast. But at any rate, let's look outside, see what's doing. And at this late hour, it is a mainly clear sky. Truthfully, a lovely night on our Tower Cam network. Didn't get much in the way of shower and thunderstorm activity today, which definitely played out in a positive direction, given that it's a holiday and many people wanted to be outside to enjoy. You can see a couple of airplanes around enjoying perhaps a nice, smooth evening. Let's take a look at some of our other Tower Cams. This is the tourist district. We are looking nice down there under a mainly clear sky. Over to the beaches. Oh, it's the Ponce Inlet Lighthouse. Lovely, lovely evening. Carter, how are you? Good evening to you. Beth, Alicia, good evening. Jenny, David, how are you? John, Tom, Pam, good evening, good evening, good evening. Hope you're having a nice night. Let's take a look at our first morning Doppler radar at this hour. Patty says Gatorade just got out of the pool. You know, it's funny. I took a picture of my pool yesterday when I was taking Stella out pottying, and I was like, I look forward to when the kids are big enough that we can do a nighttime swim. Yeah. Man, oh man. All right, first warning, live Doppler radar, and we are nice and quiet through the metro. A couple little pieces of energy here or there up into Marion County, as a matter of fact. That's where we've got like the best rain. Just north of Ocala, up around Anthony. We've seen some around Citra, Anthony, and Reddick. Up toward northern Marion County, even a little downpour working out toward Salt Springs, getting out toward Crescent Lake and Shell Bluff. But that's about it. It's been a really nice, mild night. Here's a look at temperatures currently around town, and we are cycling those across the bottom of your screen. It's 84 degrees in the city, 85 degrees in the villages. Look at that. We're sitting at 82 in Ocala. No report coming in from Palm Coast, at least this evening. So, excuse me. This is why I'm waiting until 10 o'clock, until the newscast to get my coffee. Oh, man. Very much trying to wait because I need it. I needed to get through the newscast. So, at any rate, nice evening for us as we look to the overnight forecast. Temperatures tonight are going to be running nice and mild. If I could spell tonight correctly. Average low is 73. We'll do about 77 in the City Beautiful, okay? About 75 degrees this evening in Sanford, 74 in Ocala. So it's definitely going to be a nice and warm night. Average low is 73. But and I didn't expect this. This is definitely one of those, when you find it, you kind of nerd out a little bit. And if you watched WESH 2 News tonight, you're going to already know the answer. But today is Labor Day, right? Labor Day, the unofficial start to fall, if you will. It's the unofficial end of summer. So, that said, we usually, for me personally, I like to do Coffee Talk outside the first few mornings of temperatures in the 60s. So what I did is I went in to look at data and see out of, I have to figure out how to word this. Out of everything, out of our morning lows, starting, and I put in August, summer. Out of summer, from August 1st on, when is the average first day of the season, right? Where you find temperatures dropping at or below 69 degrees. In other words, if you talk about our morning lows being 70 and above like all summer, when is that first day where you get a temperature in the upper 60s? Today's Labor Day. Today is September 5th. So I plugged that in, and what did I find? The first day where you average a morning low in the 60s is today. Now, somebody on Twitter said, that's old information, yada, 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 yada. But it's not. What it is it's from record keeping in Orlando Airport, okay? Kind of interesting how that all plays out. So anyway, first average temp with readings in the upper 60s today. Obviously, that's not happening. 77 degrees is our low temperature forecast. Average first temp in the mid 60s is about October 1st. So, we're kind of in that vicinity. We're in that range where we're getting those temperatures like dropping a little. So, thought that was pretty interesting. Yeah. Thought that was very interesting. At any rate, that's one of those things. Obviously, that's not the case tonight. If we look at the temperature trend, just looking at morning lows, by the way, over the next couple of days, you'll see that it's obviously not going to be the next few days either. If I could find the graphic, here we are. Here's our morning lows, right? Like 77, 77, 76. Yeah, it's not happening, at least over the next couple of days. Aaron says, weird seeing you do this at night. I know you're a morning guy. Yeah, it's, filling in for Manolfi. And it's funny, the scheduling manager put out a note talking about how our schedules over the next, few months are going to be chaos just from vacations and things like that. Beverly says someone's tired. I know. Debbie, what happened with Artemis? Hydrogen leak. Yeah, liquid hydrogen. Hate when that happens. Be careful riding home. Oh, for sure. I'm going to... Excuse me. I'm going to start slamming coffee here at about 9:50 tonight. So we'll do this together. And by the way, you'll be able to watch this train wrecking on CW18 at 10 and on WESH 2 at 11. All right. Mike's asking, how likely Earl could be another Florence in 2018, turn back west and end up making a landfall. I've seen unexpected hurricane landfalls. Well, yeah, we'll talk tropics in a couple of minutes. First, there's your morning lows over the next couple of days. Let's talk, though, about kind of a broader setup. What's going on the next couple of days in our area, okay? Let's just start off with where we are for tomorrow. Rain chance for tomorrow is going to stay relatively low. We're going to stay at roughly a 40% coverage of rain, which is about normal for us this time of year. But over the next couple of days, we start to watch this cold front marching our direction, and it's forcing in moisture. So Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we start to watch the shower and thunderstorm coverage going up. Take a look at my latest numbers. Now, keep in mind that I'm going to add new model data into this. So we'll have kind of some updated numbers on CW18 and on WESH 2 at 11. So right now, 40% coverage of rain for tomorrow, but we're going 60-70 for your Wednesday and your Thursday. So rain chances definitely making some adjustments. All right. Christine says, can't wait for temp drops. Looking very forward to winter. I'm sorry. I know it's contagious, Sonia. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Sorry about that. Stephen, when are we going to see some 60s? I just talked about that. On average. I talked about it on average. We don't see it exactly in the 7-day forecast. We'll just say that, right? So rain chances going up the next couple of days. Yeah, 7-day forecast unfortunately does not include 60s. Here's a look at that 7-day forecast, and then we can get out and start looking at the tropics just a little bit, okay? So here you go. Morning lows in the 70s, mid 70s at that. Afternoon highs starting in the mid 90s, and then rain chances rising as illustrated the next couple of days, and that's going to help to moderate your temperatures just a little bit. Yeah, all right? Rosebud, is that in Orlando or all of Central Florida? Oh my gosh, I'm doing another yawn. Oh, sorry. I should have done the coffee now. These are Orlando temperatures, but it's not dramatically different, right? Like 95 is our forecast high, for example, for tomorrow. That's in Orlando, but if I were to take you around and show you the forecast high temperatures for tomorrow, you'd see that the beaches are going to be a little bit different because of the proximity to the ocean. But the inland area is within about a degree or two of that temperature, right? 95 in the city, beautiful. 94 in Sanford, 93 degrees in DeLand, 94 degrees in Ocala. Average high temperature is 91. So, for what it's worth, it's about there. Just above average for us. When will we get our first cold front? It's usually October. We still have a little ways to go before we get to that normal cold front. I am so sorry. Oh, I am embarrassed. Ooh. I'm usually in bed by this time, like fading out. But, you know, I wake up at 5 o'clock every day, so that's the way that is. I'm being very careful not to let guard down anytime I see a hurricane form after what happened with Florence. I don't like to let my guard. Yeah, well, of course not. Nor should you. We're, you know, after all, we're just about to the peak of hurricane season. The peak, of course, of hurricane season being the next week or so. Okay, so that said, what's going on in the tropics? Let's talk about things first off, okay? Here's a wide perspective, and let's just kind of take this through time. First and foremost, you've got 3 areas that we're watching, right? You've got Tropical Storm Earl right here. You've got Hurricane Danielle here, and then you've got a nice wave coming off the coast of Africa with a 60% chance of developing over the next 5 days' time. All right, so there's that. Let's start with Hurricane Danielle in the North Atlantic, okay? Let's just kind of zoom into it and get a feel for where it is. Maximum sustained winds are at 85 miles an hour, pressures at 976 millibars. Computer forecast models in pretty good agreement. Now, it may do a quick loop-de-loop, but basically northeast and then kind of head off toward the east. National Hurricane Center incorporating that into their overall forecast, bringing it down to a remnant low later this week. So that's that, okay? Back here at home, at least a little closer to home, you've got quite the convection going this evening. Just take a look at that satellite imagery. This is Tropical Storm Earl. Maximum sustained winds are at 65 miles an hour, but I mean, you look at that beast. It's definitely getting its organization going. Take a look at the radar data, and I want to point out, as it lifts to the north, just take a look at some of the heavy rain that's being that's been indicated across Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands there. So definitely some impacts there. Computer models on this storm system continuing to take it due north and then looping it off to the right, kind of doing a quick number very near Bermuda, probably going to bring them some very rough surf and rip currents, okay? There's the, that's the wrong one, I apologize. There's the forecast for Tropical Storm Earl. Not only is it expected as early as like Wednesday to become a hurricane, but it is also anticipated to become a Cat 3 hurricane or a major hurricane. So not only is Earl out there, but it is expected to become a strong storm. Beverly says Tony yawns all the time also. I'm not usually awake to watch Tony, and if I am, I'm putting the kids to bed. So God bless. And he's done this for, you know, a decade. All right, so Tropical Storm Earl, thankfully, will not impact us. It's staying far enough out there away from us. May pick up our wave action over the, you know, next couple of days' time, but for now, it's doing what it's doing, not really bothering us. That wave off the coast of Africa, take a look at it. It's definitely looking decent. It's elongated, it's unorganized, but it's looking decent. The overall idea with this one is that we could see a tropical depression form like mid to late in the week. Plenty of moisture available. Atmosphere looks to want to develop, maybe a short-lived thing. Nothing too crazy there, but something to watch. Tony yawns all the time too. That makes me feel good. Good. All right, so any questions about the tropics thus far? No? All right, we could take a look at the model data, shall we? This is the raw GFS. This is the 18Z, the most recent run of the GFS. A couple of things to note. The 979 low, kind of center of your screen, that of course is Danielle. The 1001 low, that is Earl. And then the bottom right corner, that 1012 low, that's this next little thing. All right, so we'll roll through. There's the development of it. Nothing ominous, kind of recurving, getting absorbed into Earl. Another little wave there, kind of at the bottom of the screen. Doing its trucking along, you see that? Nothing terribly organized or large, but something. Yeah, nothing of note, right? That upper low there, kind of a little piece comes off the mid-Atlantic. If we back that up, there's a little low there off of the New England area, northeastern United States, around September 13th. And that's that, right? So, interesting. That's September 21st. I'm just looking. I just want to look right in there. That September 15th time frame. Let me just zoom in here to the Caribbean. I just want to take a closer inspection and see. Because this is about, mid to late September is when we should be starting to look at the Floreaster cycling. Give me just a second here. Stand by one, Houston. Yeah, so earlier, the 12Z model had the Floreaster kind of showing up there. You see that? But that's one model run ago. 2 model runs ago, nothing. 1 model run ago, it had it there. And current model run does not have it there. So interesting to see how that plays out. But, it did catch my eye that the Floreaster did show up on there. What's even more interesting is that if you use the BSR does have a bit of a Floreaster kind of indicator. There's the Floreaster indicator kind of using the GFS model through the BSR. So there's the Floreaster indicator. It's there. It's not a major signal, but if I were to just back this up, it's right there, kind of an old front dragging something through, and that times out, that's September. That's like the week of the 22nd, 23rd, 24th of September. So that's interesting. And then if we even go further along, there's something that caught my eye. Oh, that's the 12Z though. Hold on a second. Let me just refresh this. All right, let me just refresh this. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's still showing something of that. All right. Let's just see here. I want to see, there was a feature that the 12Z also showed. Not really showing it now. Okay. All right. There was a feature that the 12Z GFS showed that would have been very interesting in like early October, but it's not showing up, so that's fine with me. So anyway, tropics remaining nice and quiet for a little while. No complaints from me. I do want to point out though, since we're talking tropics, let's talk a little nerdy, right? We've been using the ACE numbers to track everything. And here's the updated ACE numbers. This is through today. This does not include today's numbers. Tomorrow we'll have through today's numbers. But through this morning, we have generated now 12.1 ACE points for the season. 47 is the 30-year average through today. 58.8 is what we had last year. So there's that, right? And in terms of named storms, we've had 5. The 30-year average is 7.2. We had already had 12 named storms through today. So yeah, good times. And by the way, the next name, should that system coming off the coast of Africa be a thing, the next name is Fiona. All right? Sound good? Sound good? Very good. All right, let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. Again, raise that rain chance these next couple of days. 40% coverage today, 60% coverage for your Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We go up to a 70% coverage of rain. All right? Brian, how does the current tropic systems match up with the BSR model projections from a couple of months ago? It seemed to be pretty good. Yeah, it seemed to be pretty good. Tony usually sings a little. The copyright police slapped me on the wrist for that, so I can't do that. But yeah, one thing of note, entering into October, brand new weather pattern. So we'll be watching that very, very closely, right? All right. I can never type on the comments on Tony's, but he sure does get some real good yawns in there. Not sure why I can't comment on his. Interesting. I don't know. All right, that's all I got, people. Let's why don't you guys and gals get settled in, make it a great night. I'm going to go start brewing up some of the darkest roast coffee I can find and make it through to 11:30. All right? Be the sunshine in someone else's day. I will see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for Coffee Talk. Hopefully a little more awake. Good gravy. All right? Be good, you guys and gals.